Chat. There we are, guys. There we are. The next round is starting soon. Soonish, I would say. We will get the deck lists and so on. Blah 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 blah. But we're here, and let's see. The game is already one player, two players are both already there. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see what. There are two players that are 1-0, and we will see what happens next. In between, hi Confucius, you are still here.
Hi, Sasha. Pleasure to be casting with you again.
Yeah, it's 2 years I've gone. I would
Yeah,
say.
and I haven't
Kind of
touched a
2 or
legacy
3.
card in. I think it was 2 years. No? I think I haven't touched a legacy card
Yes,
since.
that's true. Since then.
Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, in real paper magic,
Okay, okay.
was all arena for me here and there.
Oh, vintage.
Yes,
Spicy.
I'm a vintage at heart.
Okay, okay, okay.
First,
I like vintage.
the
to be honest.
first expensive cards I bought were a set of Bill, which was $15 a piece
Yeah.
back then.
Okay, okay. In years like 2000, something like this, a lot of time ago, I was playing vintage in Milano. There was a big scene of vintage on these years. I was playing unspoilered decks back then, and I won some mocks.
Amazing.
I won some prizes. It was great. It was great. I still play vintage on Magic Online.
Hmm.
In the last year, I didn't play a lot of vintage, but 1 year ago, I played like for 1 month intensive vintage on Magic Online.
Vintage is in a good place right now. And cards. Most of the broken block pieces allows you to play Magic again.
I really like it. I really like it. It is. I have to make a shout out to my friend, co-commentator of the first year in Swiss Magic Master 4 years ago. That's Nico Boni, and he plays a lot of vintage on Magic
really?
Online, and he is one of the best vintage players on Magic Online. He was well known for limited, but now he plays limited and vintage mostly. And this weekend he is also not there because of the fact that with vintage he qualified to do the MOX finals on Magic Online.
Cool.
This is a big tournament. It's like the World Championship of Magic Online, kind of something like that. And they are just 8 players, and he's playing that tournament today and yesterday, or less.
All right, but this is a legacy stream, and we just received the deck list.
Oh,
we
okay.
have Christian Rothen playing You Are Delver, which is like the deck in the metagame right now, and he's playing against Gregory Domon, I suppose. And he's on Show and Tell.
Christian Rothen is a known player from competitive formats also, more competitive player formats, more Witzer supported formats. And he's playing a deck that is like the obvious deck for someone that comes from other formats, I would say, because it's a blue-red modern deck with 4 Westland and 4 Days and 4 Force of Will. That is a huge upgrade, but
And
still,
Brainstorm.
and Brainstorm. It's a huge upgrade, but still the deck plays out quite similar in some ways.
So tell me about this deck. Obviously, we have a lot of modern Horizon cards, which recently introduced. We have Ragavan, we have Dragon Rage General, and Night Regent. The deck is still called You Are Delver, but it plays 2 Delver of Secrets.
And not all the lists play Delver.
Not
this
all
way.
the lists play Delver, but it's still called Delver.
This way. The list is Delver, but it's not a lot about Delver. It's more about Ragavan, about the tempo plays, about Westland, about Days. It's a really good deck. It has crazy starts because if you play a Delver on turn one and you are protected, like you play it with a Volcanic and you are protected with Days, and then the turn after maybe you just go for a Westland, you have a crazy advantage. And the deck is great, insane. A lot of people say that something of the deck should be banned. I don't know. Because I feel like Legacy has a lot of cards that should be banned at this moment. But um, yeah, the deck is good. I don't know how it should be. It should have a decent matchup against the combo deck, just because it has cheap, the classic. It has cheap interaction, and it has counter spells, cheap aggression and counter spells. But at the same time, the counterspell that the blue red deck has are not a lot, and he is playing 4 balls and a gut shot that is pretty, and an holy heat. It seems like pretty set up for the mirror match, to be honest. Um,
Yes, I think you have to go into this format thinking about the US match in particular. So if your list can't beat it at all, maybe you should. And I think his thought process is, well, I'm playing the typical UR Delver deck and I need deck as well. I think is why he's playing Unholy Heat and a Gutshot. Turn 1 Dragon Rage Channeler Ragavan.
yeah, I'm not sure about it, but it's probably good. I mean, it depends a lot on the metagame. It's a metagame choice. In a combo environment, maybe these two places could be two Spell Pierce or something like that, something more against combo decks. But if you expect a lot of Death and Taxis and a lot of Delver decks, that is a big possibility today. Uh, then I totally agree that Anoli Heat and the Gutshot are great.
Christian opening with double Dragon Rage Channeler and the Mishra's Bubble to enable the best as possible. He actually milled one of the top cards from the Dragon Rage Channeler
Yeah,
and kept the other, so we can expect it something like Brainstorm or Force. Judging by his skill level, can expect the matchup to high tide or
I agree. The It is funny how they printed 2 1 drops, 2 red 1 drops, and I still don't. I'm not sure Ragavan is better than Dragon Rage Channeler, and I still think that both are just crazy. It's-
both are crazy strong. I agree. With Dragon Rage Channeler, at least you have to work a little to enable it. Ragavan just fits in. Gregory is actually playing Oseju Shelters All, which is a land that allows him to spell without being able,
yes,
which is obviously a nice way to get around.
yeah, he needs now this wasteland big drop balls for.
Tell me about the list of
Uh,
see anything spicy.
it's a classic omniscience deck that closes with omniscience, and there is no big like Silum Division is a new addition, I would say. The deck is really good in my opinion. It was really good 1 year ago. That's why it didn't add a lot, to be honest. The list is the same. At 1 year ago, 2 years ago, there was some option to play white for orange chance or the little
Teferi.
Teferi. Uh, but now I see they are not playing those cards.
Game plan of show and tell is straightforward, which
Yes,
can
it's
be a
directly.
big advantage in an unknown field. Because you have a very clear game plan, you can mostly ignore focus on. The games tend to be short, which is also I like the show
Yeah,
and tell in a turn.
it's a turn 3 kill, like in
And this
easy way.
easy puzzle to assemble. You need
Yes.
one card, show and tell, and something big, which is either omniscience, which allows basically play through your deck, find a cunning wish in condition. Also show and tell like Bristlebrand or Emrakul.
Yep.
Christian Rothen adding another threat to the probably light on, and he did not find a wasteland for
He's
that Posei,
probably
which
dead.
means yes.
To be honest. Okay, now he uses
But
Possession and he will
Gregory
play
needs
Show
to
and
kill
Tell.
him because he is.
Yeah, but
Christian is threatening.
as we told before, and I totally agree, the deck is really just card draw and the combo pieces. It's really easy to assemble the combo for this deck.
That an intuition.
Yes. Now it comes a Force of Will. It depends if he has still some gas.
He has still like 5 cards in hand. So I expect
Yes.
there to be
And
some amount
he is
of
playing
cantrips.
Blusterstorm and Force of Will. This way you can interact with Force of Will or just play another Intuition or something like that.
As the welcome to Legacy. I
That's the foil Intuition? Or, I don't know.
think it's enough. Double force of that with double force. Likely going to
Triple
see
Cunning
triple
Wish.
cunning wish.
He's playing
And
just
for
3.
style points, I'm guessing he's going for
It's the classic combo with Firewind. He has an Intuition in his hand. He has a Cunning
he
Wish in
doesn't
his
play a
hand.
tutor for the Emrakul environment.
He goes for Firemander inside into the combo is he has the tutor, yes. He has Shattered Summonings.
There's some. Show me the card.
That's the card. Search your library up to 2 creatures with different names.
That is
reveal
slightly
them,
better
and
than
put
searching
them
for
in
a
your
card.
hand. That really way to get there.
Find M friend which deck. An extra turn.
The game is over.
So what you expect out of the sideboard. So the typically the show and tell combo
1-0
decks.
for Domon.
Typically the combo decks don't really want to sideboard kind of matchup. They want to specifically sideboard opponents, but they can't really board out anything meaningful without losing. He has obviously the Wish sideboard with Cunning Wish and 7 ley lines, nothing in. Expecting only to see more of the land that allows him to cast show and tell
and one
potentially
defense.
defense. He's opting to side in cards that make it basically harder for Christian to counter.
It's strange because it's normal, but like normal, the tempo decks with counterspell and some disruption have an advantage against the combo decks. But this kind of combo deck is, in my opinion, so resilient. It has so few things that they have to do. It's like just 2 cards combo, and they have a lot of counterspell. They have more counterspell than the aggro deck, and that's kind of crazy. And the aggro deck is not fast enough to kill him in a good speed. I mean, if you start with Ragavan maybe you have a really aggressive start that leads you to kill him at least on turn 5, right? Or turn 4 or 5. But
Well, Christian actually did have a really aggressive start with double Dragon Rage Channeler, and he represented the potential of a turn 4 kill, but he was on the means that Gregory managed to kill him before.
yeah.
But I agree with you that the Delver is slightly favored this part because he's fighting a ton of countermeasures and Karakas. So I
Yeah.
see a Flusterstorm, 3 red element. He might have inside in surgical direction. Well, potential Blood Moon,
I think
we'll
Blood
say.
Moon makes totally sense.
Which is weird, right? Because it's a mono blue deck that plays a lot of islands, but you deactivate the
Yeah,
land that matters.
I think he will
It's
not side
Wasteland.
in the Blood Moon just because he doesn't know how many Boseiju he plays. I don't know. I don't think he expects 4 of them totally between sideboard and main deck. I don't know. The old deck list didn't play for Boseiju. I don't know if now it's the new trend, but it is true that after sideboard it's really good to have 4 Boseiju, but at the same time Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast can take care of Omniscience also when it is on the battlefield. That could be a problem. You cannot counter it, but you can destroy it.
You
Obviously,
can
your
dis-
opponent can go combo an instant.
I was going to say you can destroy it, but it's likely to happen. Because you can
It
cast
depends.
Force of Will and Flusterstorm for free in response.
Sure.
You can go Intuition to find the counters, Brainstorm. There's tons of potential to protect an
No,
omniscience
it's
once
not
it's on the
something that
battlefield.
happens a lot, but
It's
I
not
think
something that you
it
want to
happens.
happen.
I think no, 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 no. Obviously, not.
You think he's going to side in the Caracas? Because sometimes the omniscience deck doesn't find the as friend or an then
Yeah,
can be good, but
I don't think you
it's
will
a really
side.
fringe
I don't
scenario.
think because it has just 1 and 1. All the deck
Mm.
list play like 1 and 1.
I think even just a 1/2 of lightning bolt
Yeah, just also to
potentially
just
accelerate the
activate
clock.
actually accelerate the Dragon Rage channeler.
Mm.
That's pretty important because Dragon
And the
Rage
Murktide as well.
yeah also yeah. Like, so Morktide come down on turn 2 yesterday on Modern. Let's see if it happens today. Harder looking
Yes.
at the list because there is no Toadscar. That is the card that enables the Morktide
But it's fine.
to be.
The 8/8 flying creature
It's
still
also
good.
could be good.
Could be good. Do you remember the days when I had access to creatures?
Yeah, it's Magic is changing. It's changing
Magic
a
is
lot.
changing.
I was discussing yesterday about Modern. It was in the Modern, there was a game between a blue, white, red deck and the mono red deck. And
Mm.
looking at the card draw, they were on the same spot.
Mm.
Mono red deck was on the same spot on card drawing with a blue deck. It was
Yeah.
like kind of insane.
And the blue deck was creature though.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So Christian, I think he mulliganed one.
Yes.
I think I actually. So this is perfect for represent a decent clock on the first turn in Dragon Rage Tenor, Ragavan, and you want to keep countering find that. I haven't seen anything. Take a sneak peek. So there's
Omniscience,
Omniscience and
Boseiju, Force
Boseiju.
of Will.
Yeah, show and tell.
Ponder, Brainstorm.
There will eventually.
Impulse
But he's on the draw, so
and
and the Delver
another
is
land.
already flipped. He doesn't have all the time in the world
Cunning Wishes.
to find the can't go Cunning Wish,
Yes.
and then two.
Oh,
Oh, there's a
easy,
show and tell.
easy. No, it was.
Easy.
He has no ponder. He has Cunning Wish, not ponder.
But with this draw, he's representing a turn weak
Yep.
show and tell that does have the plenty of card draw.
Yes, but just
So
one counter.
Christian needs to find Wasteland now. We're going to see a quick 2. Shuffle the line. Find that. I think at juncture really needs, because he already has some. Doesn't do anything. Pyroblast up and
Think about if you don't hit and what are the chances you can get 5 really hard. I mean, there is just one Cunning Wish and there is a Force of Will, but there is also 2 card drawing
Impulse.
spells.
I think we saw
Impulse and
Impulse
Brainstorm.
should be enough. On top of
There is the Pyroblast. Okay, strange. We didn't have that problem yesterday.
So is the microphone cutting off, or are we just too silent? Because we can
Check it. Okay.
get closer and talk louder, if that helps.
Brainstorm? Still searching this wasteland.
Still searching for the. Did he find it?
Nope.
He did not.
Well fought.
So the best case scenario for Christian is he gets to counter all the Cunning Wish and cantrips and gets another turn, but basically every card Gregory draws that isn't a land is a potential kill with Omniscience on the battlefield.
Yeah, he has to not make a mistake. I think he has to start with the ponder that he has in his hand. He has to go show and tell, omniscience, ponder, because it's the only sorcery that he has in his hand. This way, not playing the Cunning Wishes first it would be a mistake to play Cunning Wishes first. This way now, you go for the show and tell.
It would be a mistake, but I don't think there's a ton he can mess up.
Yeah, but that would be, it's one less card draw. This way, it's not good. I mean,
and as you said, there is likely going to be a Pyroblast on the Omniscience in response to the Ponder.
Yes, they will. He will try. He will be sad, but he will try.
I don't think it is possible to cast Emrakul with Pyroblast on targeting Omniscience on the stack. I don't see anything to give creatures flash, but that would be cool if he could, in response to the Pyroblast, cast Emrakul. Oh,
there's the force.
He's going to opt to
There's another force.
Initiate the counter war on the Pyroblast, and now with only one remaining card in Christian's hands, which could be a Daze though, he will try to assemble the combo he needs, or maybe just find another counter. And there's a Fluster Store.
Another flusterstorm. A lot of flusterstorms.
So was Zeshu really showing his prowess in the matchup?
Yes.
And show and tell showing their resilience against potentially the best, or at least the format defining deck in Legacy at the moment. He's just calmly resolving the ponder first. Waiting.
Under numbers, it's not like this dominant at the moment, the blue-red deck. It is a really played deck, but it's not like crazy. %? No, it's pretty crazy. I agree.
But this is only 15% is only the red and blue versions, and there's
Yes,
also
you can
tons
add
of
the
variations
Jeskai, yes.
which use the same core, which is cantrips plus Dragon Rage Channeler and Rakavan. And some people opt to go for a white splash.
Yes, the
Some
white splash
people
is the
opt to go
other
for like a
approach.
standstill version. Some people play the saga as well. But basically, it's the same core.
Yeah, it's like 20% of the meta game at least. It's crazy. I agree, it's a lot. The second most played deck is lands with 7%. A huge difference.
So, since we have seen a quick 2-0 in a very decisive
Yes,
match,
Domon won 2-0 after the second show and tell with protection with Boseju and so on. It was a quick scoop.
let's talk a little bit about the meta game since we have the time.
Yeah.